Hello, party people. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 7 meatless meals. Yes, this week I have a theme, and it is the meatless meals. A couple of reasons why you would want to do this if you're asking yourself, what? Where's the meat? Like my husband normally does. So typically meatless meals are budget friendly because they're mostly built around beans, lentils, and veggies and whole grains. And these plant-based proteins tend to be less expensive. Yes, I read that straight from Goog. They also reduce your risk of chronic preventable diseases, bonus, and Google more if you're interested. It also helps reduce your global footprint, which is paramount. And, we're all over here just trying to do our best for Mother Nature, for ourselves. And moreover, right now specifically, you may notice that you could have trouble finding meat in your grocery store, right? There's like the meat shortage going on and whatnot. So if you need more reasons, these meals are delicious. So how's that for a reason? Let's get into it. Oh, and that brownie, are you kidding? We'll get there. Okay, first meal, Thai pineapple rice. I'm telling you guys, you will not miss the meat. So delicious, flavorful. This one was one of my favorites. And that presentation in the pineapple, are you kidding me? Excuse me? I'm getting a phone call. Yes, this is she. Oh, it's the Food Network? So nice to hear from you. Okay, so just a few easy ingredients that you probably have on hand. Oh my gosh, and I realized instead of shredding these carrots, I bought shredded carrots to save myself some time and effort. Probably would take me less time to cut the carrots as it's taking me to dance around excitedly that I bought the carrots. Okay, so I have that little time saver for you. You're also going to need 1 onion chopped up, 3 cloves of the garlic, or if you're like me and you just have, the jar of garlic. And if you don't have shredded carrots, the recipe calls for 2 carrots cut into thin sticks. 1, who has time for that? And 2, well, I kind of forgot what my second thought was, but if you want to add more or less carrots, that's up to you. You do you. You do what you want. It's your kitchen. It's your belly. If you don't even like carrots, omit them. Add whatever vegetable that you want. I also found, someone told me this really, I'm using air quotes, cool way of peeling a pepper, saying that you get all of the pepper this way. I don't know. Just peel the pepper however you want because I feel like I always get this much pepper. I don't know. Am I the only one? I tried different ways to peel peppers, cut peppers during this episode, I guess if you want to call it that. And you know what I went back to? The original way that I do it because it's easy and simple and no fuss. Okay, so I have some red peppers. If you don't want to use that, use tomatoes. I don't know. Half a cup frozen peas. I actually wasn't going to add that. Why am I dancing now? Because I'm excited that my mise en place is finished. That must be why. That's a good reason. All right. Now, once you have all of your mise en place, is that how it's pronounced? Mise en place. I watch Iron Chef. I don't even watch Iron Chef. What do I watch? It's called, I haven't watched it since I was pregnant. Top Chef. Oh, it's such a good show. So you throw your onions in, your peppers in, your carrots in, all at the same time, and just with a little bit of olive oil. You can salt and pepper it if you want, season every layer, that kind of thing. Those veggies, I find, take about the same amount of time to cook down. So it was a good array of veggies that I chose. We're moving on to the pineapple, and this is the fancy part. Okay, if you want my opinion and you are not serving for a party or a crowd or anyone that you want to impress, if it's like your own family, you know what I mean, and no one cares about presentation. And I'm freaking out because I picked another good pineapple. I'm having such good luck. Are they in season? They must be because every pineapple we've gotten has been absolutely delicious. And this is what makes this dish so juicy and like tropical theme. Oh my, it's a party in your mouth, guys. All right. So it took me a while to get all of the chunks out of here, and I kind of cut it like I would a mango, just into little chunks, and I'm just scooping them out. It took me forever. If it wasn't for this video and me trying to make a nice presentation, I would have just cut it like I normally cut a pineapple, because this took me dang near forever. So that is my tip for you. Just cut it like a normal pineapple. You know what I mean? This took me like 20 minutes. Have you guys ever made something fancy like this, maybe for a birthday party or something, and it took you way longer than you thought it would? I used to do that with birthday cakes. We used to make, well, I used to make all my kids like personalized, these like extravagant, or in my eyes, extravagant for a homemade cake, these extravagant birthday cakes. I mean, I was pretty proud of them. One year, sometimes, how about that? Sometimes I was proud of them, other times not so much. Pinterest used to make me, give me a false sense of confidence. Anyway, we're getting off topic. Have you ever made something wonderful? Because I feel like this would be a party pleaser. You know what I mean? Ooh, also, I wanted to ask you guys, if you have any meals that are like Indian. I love Indian dishes, but I cannot find any recipes. I don't know. Maybe Pinterest is failing me, so if you have any good ones, you send them my way. I don't even know what spices to start with. You guys know my off-the-wall spices Italian seasoning. That's like what I live off of. Moving back to the dish, I just added some garlic, and then I'm adding peas. Those aren't frozen. I nuked them in the microwave for, just until they weren't frozen, but you could surely add that to the mix as well. I cooked up some, am I going to butcher this? Basmati rice. It was a new kind of rice for me. Is it my favorite? No. They say if you want it more of like a fried rice texture, that you're supposed to put it in the fridge, and then that's supposed to, make it better. When I was editing this, I was laughing so hard at how I was measuring that cocoa aminos. Soy sauce, if you don't have cocoa aminos, it's just a soy-free option. But all you need is 1 tablespoon of that, 1 tablespoon of curry powder, and then 1 cup of pineapple, but I added the whole pineapple. And then I'm going to add 2 green onions cut into rings. You guys know I didn't measure that as well. Pepper to taste, and red pepper if you're feeling fancy. And then cilantro. Oh my gosh, cilantro. I know that's a polarizing, I'm freaking out. This is amazing, I said. It's amazing, the most amazing thing I've ever smelled. It's so good. I mean, listen. What I'm used to is salt, pepper, Italian seasoning. And then, adding anything extra to the mix is just, I'm saying, someone call the Food Network, please. It's amazing. It's so good. Try this out. You won't be disappointed. It literally took 30 minutes, just simple throwing things into a pot. And it wasn't difficult. Look, you saw me do it all. If I could do it, you could do it. No skill involved at all. And there it is, the final product. Isn't that just beautiful? We eat with our eyes first. Isn't that the truth? So this was wonderful with all the different textures. Would I use basmati rice again? Probably not. It was a little dry. I will say that. So add maybe 2 tablespoons of soy sauce or cocoa aminos, and it was 3 cups of rice. Okay, we're moving on. Try that dish. It's so good. I also added cashews. Did I say that? Okay. This, chipotle in a bowl. My new favorite dish, also known as that. You guys, one of my friends on Instagram, I saw her post about this, and I thought, man, this girl's crazy. Like, it all looks good, and then she threw in some romaine lettuce. Like, what is that? You guys, it works. It is so good. I cannot tell you enough. If you try one meal from this, you go ahead and try this one. So, a lot of meatless meal days look like this for me, where I just cook up a bunch of veggies, throw it on some rice for my kids, maybe add a bean, some kind of natural, plant-based protein, and call it a day. So this was right up my alley. I threw it together. It was all the things that I had in my fridge, all the good stuff. So when I saw my friend post about this, I thought, well, let me give this a try. Let me try this out. Again, no skill involved at all. You kind of just toss everything together. So you need some onions. You can use what you have. Literally, I tell you guys this over and over ad nauseum. Use what you have. And that's good enough. You don't need anything more than that. Use what you like. If you don't like onions, substitute them with anything else. If you don't like peppers, substitute them with what you do like. Any kind of veggies. That's what we're getting at. The bulk of this meal, veggies, and that's it. So I just have a couple red bell peppers, onions. I had half a red one and then a full white one, or maybe it was yellow. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Salt and pepper, a little bit of oil. You zhuzh it all up. Throw it in the oven at 400 or 425 if you have less time on your hands for about, 20 minutes. I could have cooked mine a little longer. You'll see the end result. Alex pulled it out. I think I was putting the baby down or something. The corn started to burn. Oh, I did add some Southwest corn. I had this in my food storage, and I thought, well, let me use this up. Corn. any corn you have. If you don't like corn, again, use what you have. Use what you like. And then some beans. I had black beans. I was trying to make I found on Pinterest a Cuban bean recipe. I don't know about it. You know what? I read so many bean recipes. It says add bay leaf. I'm out of bay leaf, so you guys know what I do. I use what I have. I did have cilantro, which I think made this dish. So if you don't like cilantro, like I said earlier, I know it's a polarizing spice or herb. It's an herb. Guys, oh, so delicious. I just added a little bit of cumin. We'll call that a quarter teaspoon, half teaspoon even. It doesn't matter. Don't measure. You just throw it on there and it'll be delicious. A little bit of pepper. I did not add salt because the canned beans typically have salt in them. I might even buy canned beans with low salt or no salt added. It doesn't matter. You don't need salt. You don't need it. We added it to the peppers. You'll be good. I was smelling it to see, is this good enough? Should I add any more spice? I did not need to add any more spice. It was so delicious. These are my veggies, all done from the oven. And that can of corn, the Southwest style, if you will, I think it had like green chilies and red peppers in it. You can obviously add that stuff if you want. Ooh, a little can of green chilies would have been a fantastic addition. So I just added it all on a plate with some rice, beans, corn, veggies, and that romaine. It made the dish. It was so crunchy, so refreshing. Also, that's way too much rice for like this mixture. Once I took a bite, I had 2 servings, first of all, and I added like all of that lettuce behind there. It was mind-blowing. If you need to, you can add some apple sausage because my husband's going crazy about the meatless meals. Anyway, I can't rave about that enough. The lettuce made it so crunchy, delicious, refreshing, and it made a ton of it for probably very little calories because of all the bulk from the romaine. Okay, now we're moving on to fried rice. This is the best fried rice I've ever made at home. I know I'm raving about a lot of these recipes. They're so simple. If you don't like tofu, seriously, who cares? Cut it out. You don't need tofu in your life. Substitute with a white bean if you want. Anything else. I'm just marinating mine with a little cocoa aminos and then some teriyaki sauce. I guess that's what that is. And guys, I don't measure just until it all absorbs. And then I'm getting my veggies ready. And the inspiration behind this, I looked at a few different like fried rice at home recipes, and I will link my inspiration recipes and websites below if you're interested in actually following a recipe and not just, cooking with your heart like I do. So my inspiration from this was when we go to Habachi grill, which we don't do a lot, but when we do, I always get the tofu, which is fantastic. And it's just something, it's more than the presentation that they like throw fire at you and it's so much fun. The food is so delicious. And I will say, I've tried to recreate fried rice at home multiple times. I think where I go wrong is that I always add Italian seasoning. Is that not what they do at the steakhouse? Not steakhouse, at the hibachi grill. I don't think they do. So I didn't do that this time, and I'll go over what I did add with you, but I just cut up my veggies, my mise en place, if you will. I'm so fancy over here. Onions, I'm cooking those down first. They take a little bit longer. Then I'm adding probably like 5 minutes, guys. I don't know, just till they're a little bit soft. Not all the way cooked, but soft enough. Then I'm adding my zucchini. This does not take that long to cook down. And lastly, I'm adding my mushrooms. I don't even like mushrooms, but you guys, I ate every last mushroom on my plate. This thing was so good. The secret to having good mushrooms is to not overcook them. Alex loves mushrooms. I love him, so I made the mushrooms, and I thought, these are so delicious. I was actually eating them, and I found myself enjoying it. So I add those very last because you only want to cook them for a couple of minutes. And I kept stirring mine just so, no one wants a soggy mushroom, okay? No one, that's not what we're going for in this dish. And I kept my pan piping hot. I don't have a wok. I don't have one of those fancy, grills. I'm using what I have. I'm at home. Oh my, look at that. I got a shell. Who am I? I'm embarrassed is what I am. But not embarrassed enough to not share it with you that I left a shell in there. But I got it out. All right, I'm just cracking some eggs because it's not a good fried rice without eggs. And then I realized, well, I think we need more eggs. And boy, was I right. So good. So I'm just scrambling up some eggs. I don't add anything to them. I think I put a little bit of oil in there and then salt and pepper. I'm basic. You guys know this. So scrambling them up, and then I think I add the rice to, tofu. Okay, you got to cook the tofu. There's no secret to this. You just make it hot. Oh, it's already done. Okay, then you add the rice. And this is just plain white rice. I may have mixed it with whatever jasmine rice I had left. I added a little bit of cocoa aminos. Let's call it, I don't know, a tablespoon. I don't measure. And then some garlic. And I added ginger. The ginger powder. It's right there. I must have cut that out. Do you see it on I'm pointing at it like we're hanging out in real life. It's on my stovetop right there. You could cook the egg like, I made a little, what is that? A little divot. You could throw the egg in there. I made a whole, what the heck is that called when you, the only word that's coming to my mind is like volcano. That's not correct. I made a little spot where you could have cooked the eggs inside of the rice, but I didn't do that. I did it previously, so I just mixed it together. This is the best fried rice I've ever had at home. And that is the truth. Alex said it was delicious. Everyone in the house loved it. I had so much rice left over. I didn't even, you know what? The next day, I made this again, double batch. That's how good it was. There's the finished tofu. I just cooked it with a little bit of oil. That's it. You just cook it till it looks good. You don't actually have, you could eat it raw. It doesn't have a taste. Tofu doesn't have a taste. It has a weird texture that some people don't like, but if you cook it and it's a little crispy on the outside, it's a little easier to enjoy. So there it is. This was very small portion. Guys, I went in like 3 times over with that. A lot of veg, little bit of rice, and then some tofu. Okay. So good. So good. Moving on to the sheet pan gnocchi and veg. Again, mushrooms. So this meal, had a few vegetables that I don't typically make. Again, with the mushrooms, not my cup of tea. I ate them. Ate everything, of course. We don't want food to go to waste. That's not what we're doing here. But I'm telling you this because if I were to make this dish again, I would make it with veggies that I do love. AKA Brussels sprouts. You guys know my trio. Brussels sprouts, carrots, I don't know, red pepper, maybe throw some potatoes on there. I don't really know. But I do know that the squash in the oven, it's not my favorite. We talked about this in this past vlog that I shared with you, this previous week. I love zucchini on the grill. I will eat 700 zucchini that have been grilled with salt on them because it tastes so I could eat it breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This dish, however, I couldn't. I don't know why it tastes so different. You know what? Maybe I needed to up the degree on my oven and maybe get those like charred bits on it. That's probably it. Maybe my recommendation, cook this at a higher temp, maybe even 450. Go for it. You know what I mean? It doesn't take that long in the oven because these veggies cook really fast. It's mostly squash. Eggplant, again, something I don't normally have. Squash, though, it cooks really easily. Is eggplant a squash? Probably not. I'm just adding salt, pepper. I'm getting real fancy with the garlic here. Oh, and wait for it, because we're getting even fancier. Recipe called for some balsamic glaze. I think it even just said balsamic vinegar. So if you have that, you go for that. You use what you have. If you don't have it, leave it out. It didn't make that big of a difference. Maybe I didn't add enough. Maybe that's the problem. Well, it wasn't a problem. Everyone ate it. It was like no big deal. The gnocchi, though, obviously the way that I'm talking about it wasn't my favorite dish. But the gnocchi was cool. And if I ever make this again, it'll be with different veggies. And that's the takeaway. I did do something pretty cool with the eggplant that I did a long, long time ago. Back when I used to buy eggplant because, I was going through the produce section trying to get familiar with all the different produce that I wasn't exposed to as a child. Growing up, our vegetable was like canned green beans, canned corn, cauliflower. That's pretty much it. So as an adult, I've had to, experiment with the vegetables. So years and years ago, I found out, eggplant is not my cup of tea, and that's totally okay. There's 100 other produce options. So this is one of the things that I do enjoy is coating it just in an egg wash and then breadcrumbs, and you throw that in the oven. Same degree I threw that on with probably like 400. That's my go-to. And the outside is crispy. It's like a vegan cheese stick, if you will. It doesn't taste anything like cheese, so let me just get that out right there. But the inside is like ooey gooey goodness, and the outside is crisp and firm. It's scientific is what it is. So if you want to try that, that's if you have eggplant left over, it's a good way to use it up. So moving on, Tuscan white bean skillet. What did I say there? Or did I say it was okay? It's okay. Back to my closet clean out, 2 years ago I said that. People still leave me comments saying how when I said it's okay, it made them laugh. So it makes me laugh too, guys, okay? I make myself laugh. That's all you can ask for in life. Life is a comedy, not a drama. My husband says that all the time. Find the joy. Laugh at yourself. It's no big deal. So I'm just cutting up an onion, red bell pepper, and I've got some artichokes right there. Some good old artichokes. Did I measure? No. I just threw a few out of the jar and called it a day. Now I'm cooking them. Oh, this is like a one skillet kind of deal. I say it was okay because I was comparing it to what I normally make with kale. Oh, I'm teaching you right here. You got to get the dinosaur claw right there. You see that dinosaur claw? You got to grip it and then devein the kale because no one wants that chewy vein. I don't know what else to call it. That chewy stick in their dinner. No one wants that. So you have to knock it off, with your dinosaur claw. Showed you again. You dispose of those. Make a stock if you want to save them. If you're, homely and do that kind of thing. Someone told me homely means ugly. I use it as a term to describe a homemaker. Oh, anyway, life on the prairie. What was that show called? Little Life on the Prairie. Dang, what was that show called? I don't remember. Moving on. You need some sun-dried tomatoes for this. I think half a cup. You guys know I just use a spoon. Some white beans. I used cannellini beans. And some garlic. Mine is from a jar lately. And, is that Italian seasoning? Hello! Nice to see you again in the kitchen. Now it feels like Kim's kitchen. And then lastly, I'm throwing in the artichoke hearts. Oh, nope. It wasn't last. Wait for it. Hold up. Kale. This is the star of the show, and that's what I was talking about before. I was comparing this dish to one of my favorite kale dishes that is easier to make than this, and all you need is onion. You just cook the onion. You throw in some butter beans. Butter beans are the bean of life if you've never had them. They're also called lima beans. Oh my gosh, they're just so good. If you've never had them, try them. And kale. That's all you need. Oh my. And some lemon juice, some nutmeg, some oil. You cook all that up and call it a day. And in my opinion, it was a little better than this. I feel like there was too many flavors in this trying to compete, and it was just, the party was exploding in my mouth, and it needed to be shut down. Okay, that party needed to be shut down. Moving on to some Korean lentils and rice. Oh, like I wrote there, the zook was the star of the show. The keen. I love zucchini. I have recently fallen back in love with it. So there's everything that you're going to need. Some sesame oil. Again, if you don't have it, just use olive oil. Holy crud. All right, about this recipe. This is a Six Sisters recipe. You guys know I absolutely love 99% of their recipes that I've tried, and I have shared a ton with you. And I don't know if it was because I cooked this with lentils and not meat that maybe would have cut the sugar of this, but this was so sugary, even for me, and I am an addict. I am a sugar addict, sugar fiend. I'm adding, again, some ginger. I think I threw some garlic in there, a little more, as you see, salt and pepper, cocoa aminos, or soy sauce, if that's what your flavor, and lentils. And this was really, really easy to whip together. I cooked the lentils in my Instant Pot. You could cook them on the stovetop. It's just so simple to make. It doesn't take long at all. I think it was 8 minutes in my Instant Pot. Super easy. And they were cooked. Oh, it's like the first thing I've ever cooked in my Instant Pot that I wasn't frustrated with. So I ended up throwing all the lentils in. It was probably around a cup. I don't know. I can't tell you. Maybe it was 2 cups of dried lentils. And there it is, all finished, just on some rice and a side of veg. That's the most important thing I want you to take away from this video, too. Eat your veggies. Healthy, delicious. Oh, God. They're just so good. You don't even have to really season them that much. They're just delicious. And look at those lentils. You could use meat, but you don't have to. I do like myself some lentils. Ooh, Madre's lentils even. So good. From Costco. I'm drooling. I have to swallow my saliva. Cucumber salad, keeping things a little simple. This could be a lunch item for you, or just if you're running around rampant and busy, very quick and easy dinner. You don't need a stove. You don't need to cook anything. And one of our friends brought over this hummus not Italian dressing, just hummus dressing. And there were 3 different flavors, so I'll share them with you because I do crack them open, and give them a try. Spoiler alert. Well, I won't spoil anything for you. Okay, so basically what you need for this, and I was just making myself some lunch, so this is just like a Kim-sized portion. I could have done a whole cucumber. What's great about this salad is that it's so refreshing because the base is cucumber. You don't need lettuce for it. You don't need anything like that. And I shared a similar salad in my previous vlog. I'll link that below. But it just had cucumbers and peppers. Oh, so good. So flavorful because vegetables are the flavor of life. If you think about it, we even flavor meat with spices to make them, herbs and spices to make it taste good. Okay, so I just have a little bit of red onion, cucumber. I've got some Katamata olives. Ooh, that's fun to say, Katamata. Katamata. I'm probably not even saying it correctly. I have garbanzo beans, and these are a more dense bean. I also feed a ton of these beans to Meredith too. She loves beans, loves them. I just squish them up in my fingers before I hand them to her. She loves them. Okay, so I just drained a few of those garbanzo beans. I'm adding a few Katamata olives. If you don't like that olive, because they are pretty salty, you can add whatever olive you want or omit them. I'm not going to be in your kitchen telling you how to cook. You know what I mean? You should eat your olives. Olives are a fruit, by the way. By the by, if you had no idea. They grow on a tree. Okay. Feta cheese. You can add that to it. If you don't like feta, you add what you like. Okay. I'm also testing. You know what? I will say, now that we're testing it, no more spoilers. They weren't my favorite. I ended up going with my all-time favorite. Listen to this. What on earth was that? What kind of carbonated nonsense is in this salad dressing? So bizarre. The base is hummus, so it is protein-packed and very low calories. So it's great if you're looking for that. But I just ended up using my good old trusty Olive Garden Italian dressing just because I love it so much. But those dressings were really good. I will say that. They each had their own kind of zest. The Greek one had a lot of dill in it, which I really enjoy. Hey, you can add anything to this salad. This is the book I got it from. You can add hummus on top. You can add quinoa if you want to bulk it up and make it an actual dinner or a more filling lunch. So there's that. Moving on to the good stuff over here, this Oreo layered brownie. I know in these videos I normally share with you Brownie Friday, but Brownie Friday was more I think it was Sunday when I made it, or I don't remember what day, but I did vlog it. So I will link that vlog below if you want this brownie recipe. Oh my heavens! It is layered. It's a brownie, and then there's an Oreo layer right in the middle, Oreo and cream cheese that you can't even really see, and then the top is chocolate. And then I decided to crumble more Oreos on top because can you have enough? The answer is no. Again, if you want to make it healthy, add some strawberries. It doesn't make it healthy. I'm just kidding. If you want to feel a little healthier while you're eating your large portion brownie, add some strawberries. And honestly, it made it even that much more delicious. Strawberries, nature's candy. Brownies is my candy. Okay? All right. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me. I hope I gave you some good meal inspiration ideas. If you want to keep on the theme, I think next week we're going to try not gluten-free, but maybe low-carb options. Okay? I'm still trying to lose this baby weight. Anyone with me? Anyone trying to lose the quarantine 15? You let me know. Let me know if you try any of these dishes. Tag me on Instagram at the Wad Squad 1. Don't forget the 1. There I am. Also, let me know if there are any specific themes that you want me to try out. You know, like this one was meatless. We did sheet pans at one point. I'd love to just venture out, if you will. Anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out. If you enjoyed your time, please subscribe. Put a little happy in your day if you want to. And I will see you next time. Bye.